Okay, 11-3, areas of circles and sectors. This is a two-parter. The first part you've already been taught. Actually, if memory serves me right, we've actually covered both parts before spring break, so should be easy review for you. So the area of a circle, for some reason when I printed it out, it gave me the wrong formula. Area of a circle is A equals pi r squared. So I scratched out. If you print yours out and you get it, get the wrong formula, please write this formula down. A equals pi r squared. So remember the radius is from the center to the edge of a circle. It's half the diameter, which is all the way across. So this is your radius. So identify your radius correctly. All right, let's do a couple problems together. We have to find the area. It says round it to the nearest tenth. The area of this circle has a radius of 5, so this is the radius. So area equals pi r squared. Got to write down my formula. A, we're trying to figure it out. Equals pi is always pi. R on this problem is 5, so don't forget to square it. So I already did the calculations on my calculator, or you can do it on your phone. 78.5 inches squared. Box it. Again, if you don't have capabilities of printing out your assignment, just do it on your own work and email it to me. Let's do number 2. It's a little different. Number 2, this is not the radius. Again, this is the diameter. You have to know what the radius is. So from here to here would be half of that, which is 10 meters. So we're not using the 20. That's there to trick you. So area equals pi r squared. Area is area. Pi is pi. R is, on this problem is 10, and square it. So after I calculated it, I got 314.2 meters squared. Remember, area is always squared. Get in the habit of writing your units down. Number 3, just extra practice. This represents your radius. So pi r squared. All you got to do is type in your radius, which is 9.5, and square it. Calculate it, 283.5 inches squared. You're done. Number 5, one more extra practice. So number 5, again, this is not the radius. This is the radius, and that's 44 meters. There to confuse you. So on your work, you got a couple problems where you got to do area. Just make sure you identify the radius correctly. So area equals pi 44 squared. I already calculated it. 608.2. 6,082.1 meters squared. That's all you got to do on those easy problems. Again, that's review. So there are some trickier problems on this. I'm going to scratch out number 8. I'm going to scratch out number 10. Okay, so number 7, we have to figure out the area, figure out the indicated measure, and round to the nearest tenth. Number 7, the area of a circle is this. So this is what the whole area is in squared centimeters, and you have to find the diameter. So since it's the area of a circle, you're still using the area of a circle formula. So area equals pi r squared. This time we're going to plug in all the numbers that we know. Pi is always pi, so we either know the area or we know the radius. On this problem, it gives us what the area is. So we're going to plug the 153.9 into the area. So 153.9 is what the area is. So pi, we do not know what r is, so we bring it down. R squared. Don't forget the square. It has to be on there. And then we just solve like we do on any equation. Got to get the r by itself because we've got to figure out what the diameter is. If we know what the radius is, we know what the diameter is. So we're basically solving for r. So we get rid of the pi. These are multiplying, so we divide. So the pi's cancel out on that side. We're left with r squared. I already calculated that. It's 48.9. And then back in the day, I taught you to undo a square. The opposite of squaring is square root it. So you have to square root both sides. That gets rid of your square to leave with r. And the square root of that is 7. I already calculated it. So if the radius is 7, then the diameter has to be double that. Diameter is 14, so 14 centimeters. It's not squared because it's just one dimension. So 14 centimeters, that's it. So you got one problem like that on your assignment. All right, we scratched out 10. Now, number 9, the area of the circle is 907.9 inches squared. So we know what the area is. That's super important. We have to find what the radius is. So again, we're going to use the area of a circle, which is, here's my work for this. Area equals pi r squared. Okay, we know what the area is. It's 907.9 equals pi r squared. We don't know what the r is. So just like the previous problem, we have to divide by pi. Cancels out. R squared. I already divided that earlier. It's 288.9. And then we are not done because we have to undo square by square rooting. R is 17 inches, since it was inches squared for our area. That's our answer. So you got one problem like that on your assignment also. All right. Next one. Area of a sector. So if I have a circle, a pizza, and I have a bunch of slices on my pizza, you're going to figure out how much pizza you are going to eat from one slice, two slice, whatever the slice. So this slice right here, we're going to figure out what that area is. Area of a sector. So on your notes, if you printed them out or you're looking at them, this is the formula. It screwed up the formula. So area equals x. X represents the central angle, the angle of the piece that you're trying to find. So all you got to figure out is what x is and what r is. So x, central angle divided by 360, pi, whatever r is, squared. And if you have a calculator, or you can obviously use your phone, calculator, whatever, just follow this formula and this should be an easy assignment. So we're trying to figure out just the area of the shaded sector. Okay, so the central angle is 45, the radius is 3. Those are the two things that we have to know. Area of a sector is x divided by 360, pi r squared. We know what the central angle is. It's 45 divided by 360 pi. We know what r is. It's 3. Don't forget the square. You leave off that square, you're going to get the whole problem wrong. So I typed this whole thing in the calculator, and I got 3.5 feet squared. So that's how much square feet that sector is. 3.5, 3.5. Alright, skipping number 2, looking at number 3. So this little sliver right here, that is not what you're trying to find. Remember, the shaded sector is what you're trying to find. This sliver is 20. It doesn't tell us you're not going to use 20 because this has nothing to do with the shaded sector. What is the entire shaded central angle going to be? Well, complete circle is 360 degrees. So we figured this out by subtracting 20 from 360 and we get 340. So this central angle is 340 degrees. So now you know your central angle, you know what your radius is, just plug in your numbers. I always write down the formulas, especially now since we're not together. X is the central angle, which you already found is 340. Pi. And then R is 7. Don't forget to square it. I already did that whole thing on my calculator, and I got 145.4 meters squared. Awesome. Let's just do one more just for practice. Number 6. So we're just doing this sector right there. 88 is your central angle. That's nice. 7.5 is your radius. So let's just plug in our stuff. 88 divided by 360. Pi R is 7.5 squared. I already calculated all that. I got 43.2 centimeters squared. There you go. Alright, you do have one word problem. Number 7, sandwiches for a party. Samantha wants to have finger sandwiches. She cuts sandwiches into circles. If she cuts each circle into 3 congruent pieces, what is the area of each piece? So on here they drew your actual circle. On your assignment they're not going to draw a circle. You're going to do that yourself. Alright, since these are all congruent pieces, she says, these central angles, you have to figure that out. Well, all 3 of them add up to 360. So if you do 360 divided by 3, because there's 3 sections, you get 120. So that means all these central angles are 120. And you only have to figure out one sector, so we'll just do that shaded sector. So you're doing this one right here. So again, write down your formula. A equals x over 360, pi r squared. X on this problem is 120 over 360. Pi, radius is 2.5. Don't forget to square it. The area is 6.5 inches squared. You're done. Alright, you got one problem like that. You got a couple problems where you got to figure out the area of the sector on circles. Alright, any questions, emails, remind, come to office hours. I will see you there. Have a good week.